In this video, I want to share with you where you can learn more about Montessori, specifically more resources like books or websites that can help you learn more about Montessori in general. And don't worry about blowing your budget. Many of these are free. All these resources that I'll be mentioning in this video will be linked down below in the description. Let's start with what most people think about first when they're trying to learn a new subject: books. There are two books I recommend, both of which I've read a couple times already. The reason I read it over and over again is, well, because I don't have a perfect memory. So each time I read it, a bit more is retained inside my head. The first book is Montessori from the Start: The Child at Home from Birth to Age 3. The great thing about this book is that it starts from newborn stage, which is a bit rare to find in many of the books out there. The authors of this book are geared towards following Montessori fairly strictly, or at least their interpretation of it. This book is a good introduction into Montessori method. However, personally, I suggest that you don't blindly follow the advice of this book or any book for that matter. What I mean by that is what you want to do is take what you learn from the book as well as kind of listen to your own gut feeling before proceeding with what you learned. Everyone's parenting style is a bit different, and you want to make sure you're comfortable with what you're doing. The second book I'd recommend is The Montessori Toddler by Simone Davis. If you were only to buy a single book, this is the one I'd suggest. In fact, I like this book so much that I have both the physical copy of the book as well as the audiobook. The reason I have both is while reading the physical book is probably better for retaining information, listening to the audiobook is extremely convenient, especially if you have a busy schedule. And let's face it, most parents' schedules are pretty hectic. You can listen to the book while you do everyday tasks like prepping meals, doing laundry, and even driving to work. And this brings me to the next resource, which I find is oftentimes overlooked, and that's podcasts. They're free to listen to and fairly easy to access. If you're using iOS, you can find them on Apple's podcast app, which should be preloaded on your phone, but you can easily find it on the App Store if you've deleted it by accident. If you're on Android, look for the Google Podcast in the Play Store. The podcast Panda has been around since 2015, so there's a great catalog of 120 episodes for you to dive into. Most episodes are under 20 minutes, so they're fairly quick listens. Interesting fact, Panda is actually a Montessori school in South Dakota. The podcast is a thing they do on the side. Another great one is the Montessori Education podcast with Jesse McCarthy, not McCartney. Started in 2018, as of this video, there are 67 episodes. These do vary a bit more in length per episode, with the majority being 25 plus minutes. These are just two of the ones I listen to, but there are a ton of other Montessori podcasts out there that I'm sure are great as well. If you do find any other good ones, let me know down below, as with the amount of driving that happens in Houston, I could always use more to listen to. As you may have guessed, I'm a fairly big fan of Simone Davis, and it happens that she also has a nice website with tons of resources for us to learn more about Montessori. One of my favorite sections of her website, the Montessori Notebook, is the free resources section. In this section, you can download different things like routine cards, infographics from how to manage tantrums to age-appropriate chores for children. My favorite is the Montessori Activities Pdf she made for us. There are 44 pages of different activities broken down by age range, so regardless of your little one's age, there should be some fun activities here for them to do. While Lovevery isn't strictly Montessori, they do lean on it quite a bit. Most of us go to the website to look at the shiny new toy they've made available for us to purchase, but they also have a nice blog section. Here they break down by age on different activities you can do with your child. They also have a podcast that touches on some great topics like how to limit your toddler's screen time and talking about race and embracing differences. Another website that I found with great info on it is Carrots or Orange. There are countless articles of different activities that you can do with your child. I like how they've broken the activities into different seasons and also indoor versus outdoors. These are just some quick resources on learning more about Montessori. As with learning any topic, there is always more to learn. So if you have any great resources, let me know down below in the comments section so we can share with each other. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more Montessori inspired content. If you've enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and I'll catch you next time.